morning, this is Steven Silva and welcome to another Monday Morning Art Talk. So today, what I wanted to talk about is frustration as an artist, because we all go through it. So you got to wonder, where does that frustration come from? It can happen in many different forms, many different ways. So a frustration that I've faced as an artist many times over, and I'm sure many of you guys can say the same thing if you've worked in different professional levels, is working on a variety of projects or many projects throughout your career, and it just doesn't work out. Either you're not the right person for the project, otherwise a lot of the times Hollywood is all about projects development that never go anywhere, and that's just the nature of the beast. It's not always a reflection on you. It's not that you did such a horrible job. It's just that things happen, the powers that be decide just to cut shows and they just don't want to do it anymore. So this is a very common occurrence. But the most important thing that I believe is, hey, as long as you were getting paid for that, you know, as a commercial artist, that you were being hired for a service and you were doing this work, but unfortunately it goes nowhere. So you can't let that really affect you. In the beginning, for sure it does, because you start to feel that disappointment. You start to feel you had high hopes. And a lot of times that's where frustration can come from, is when you have these high hopes, or you have these this outcome in your head of what you think's going to happen, or the result that's going to happen, and in your mind flashes before you and you see yourself just getting pats on the back and all this thing, but then you realize, wait a minute, no one saw it. Nothing's happened. And that's what, you know, it's just, again, the nature of the business. And I just want to prepare anyone who hasn't been involved in the business just to understand that this is going to come, and it's not necessarily a reflection of you. Now, I want to just express another level of frustration, okay? And this is something that happened to me recently on a project I was working on. I was working on a project, and I wasn't sure what it was going to be at first before I actually took on the project. And oftentimes I'm cautious of that, and I don't know why I did. Maybe I was just in that place where I'm just like, oh, I'll just do it. And so I took on this project, and then I learned about what the project's about and what's involved, and I'm working on it, and I'm just fighting it, and I'm fighting, and I'm going, man, this is where you start within your own self. You start to not have that belief in yourself as an artist, right? It doesn't matter what you've accomplished, but you're working on something where now, you know, there's revisions being made on your work, and it's just like, and that's normal, because I really, in all honesty, I embrace that. Every time I'm working with directors or new clients, I encourage, hey, I'm not the end all be all here. Whatever I do isn't just what it is. It's like, work with me. I want to work with you. If you have notes, I'm going to listen to those notes. I'm going to address them. But I was working on this project, and every time I was working on it, I was just fighting it, and I'd walk away and I'd come back. I was going, oh man, I'm frustrated. You know, just not hitting. It's just not there. And I knew it, and I would work on it again, and I'd redo it, and it's still not there. And I go, maybe it's just now. Maybe it's just today. Maybe it's just this moment. So I got to walk away, and then at that point, I'll work on something else, okay? Something that's going to excite me just a little bit, my own personal project or whatever it may be, or just leave and just go run some errands or something. And I'll go do that, and that's how I step away. And then I'll come back, and then I can get a second opinion, and I can look at my work again and still say at that moment, if I'm still going, oh, dang, what is going on? What's the problem here? You know, it's hard. And that's what I went through. So every day I was going through this, working on this project, and it was sucking the life out of me almost. And as a professional, you don't want to quit. You don't want to walk away from it. And it's hard. It's the hardest thing in the world. But, you know, what ended up happening as a result was the director I was working with realized, you know, hey, this isn't working out to the way, you know, we still got to, you know, things we got to do. So let's just put it on hold for now. And that's the polite way of just kind of saying, you know, thanks for your time. It's not working out. Time to move on. And then the professional side of you has to go, okay, I'm not going to let this defeat me. I'm not going to walk around moping for the next, 3-5 days. You just got to sort of take it in and you just got to go, I knew it. I knew it deep within myself and my heart, because you're always going to know within yourself whether you're doing a good job or a bad job. But you feel it. I think internally you just know. And that's where it was. So I just want to let you guys know, just out there, no matter what level you get to, no matter where you are at in your careers, you're always going to be facing just triumphs at times, and you're going to be facing defeats, and that's just part of this journey as an artist. So how are you going to deal with it? How are you going to handle it? But don't let it just take you down too far. Don't let it completely dissolve your being of who you are at that moment. If that does happen, just, you got to just pick yourself up. You just got to lift your chin up, head up high, and say what's next, because that's the reality, is what's next, because there's always going to be something. But if you stay down, defeated, and you don't get back up, what happens is you lose. Just like a boxer, if you stay down on that mat, you've lost the fight. So are you willing to get back up and fight again? Absolutely. And that's the mindset that I think you got to have in this situation. So I wanted to share that with you. Thanks again for watching, and thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sharing. If anyone's interested, just coming up in August, if you're unable to study live with me, I have my online school at Schoolism. My next one-on-one sessions are beginning there if you're some other place in the world, through schoolism.com. All right, so thanks again, and I shall talk to you guys next week. Take care.